Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm coming here today with a special edition of 90 Day Oy Vey. And my heart really aches to do this special edition. Cynthia, she needs our help. And I have never before heard recordings that I've been sitting on for over a year, I would say, that paints, a little bit of a picture of what Cynthia had to deal with at Livy Ray in her last few years there. So let's hop right into it because I'm sure you guys are wondering what the hell I'm babbling about. So last night, Cynthia, Kelly, and I were doing my happily ever after recap. We were looking up Timu teeth. Kelly brought his mom on, who has beautiful teeth, by the way. She gets hers done in Cancun. And we were talking teeth, happily ever after, just Cynthia, me, and Kelly hanging out on a Monday night, Tuesday night, doing our recap. Okay, so I was kind of surprised, but not really surprised, to be honest with you. I consider Cynthia a friend of mine. And when I saw that she was going live on Instagram today, I was like, okay, well, what's going on? Well, my friend was crying on Instagram today, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And we're going to get into it, okay? Because it made my heart break into a billion pieces. Listening to Cynthia go live for, I would say it was about an hour or so, pouring her heart out, crying. She has been silent about what she's been going through this whole time. And today was her breaking point. So, as you guys all know, her and Molly are no longer in a business partnership together. They're no longer friends. They have nothing to do with each other. I covered this many times. Mary Pants covered this, and at the time, there was speculation that maybe Cynthia was the cause of Molly and Kelly's breakup, which we all know was ridiculous. And the truth started coming out that there was a common denominator in all the chaos, and that is Molly's daughter, Olivia. I'm also known as Livy. Okay. So Livy took to the comments, to defend herself. She's not the problem. All the facts are going to come out sooner or later. And we, the fans, are going to see who the problems really were. Cynthia and Kelly, of course. Okay. So fast forward to today, almost 2 years. I mean, it was November of 2022 when I started covering this story. And my friend Cynthia is crying on IG Live. Okay. Let me share this first part with you. And it just really breaks my heart to see her like this. After you're done watching my video, I want you guys to go check out the full version on Cynthia's page. Okay. I mean, this is just a portion of it. And okay, I'm going to stop babbling now.
Father-in-law, that's my house payment. I obviously am bringing some in, but what I need people to understand is, and this is the big thing, I'm not lazy. In fact, I really don't ever sit down. I'm always trying to think of ways to make money. I feel guilty. I allowed a lawyer I trusted because she became well known from our business club as well as a good friend of mine. Her name's Shannon Collier. I'm calling her out. I don't care. This woman did nothing. She did absolutely nothing.
So this is the attorney that was supposed to represent and assist Cynthia in the buyout agreement that she was signing with Molly in regards to Livy Ray lingerie.
In my case, and I got 3 bills. 2 of them weren't itemized. The last one I got after I fired her came half-assed itemized. When I finally got the file after asking for months, there was nothing in it but a few emails. and a couple of court documents. But really, the case was 95% done when she got it. So why I had a bill of $46,000 and she took $30,000 of my money and did nothing but screw me. So the out that I've signed is so bad that I'm now in a really bad position, because I don't know if some of y'all from Double Divas remember back when we were at our old location and we had leased these leasing company that came after us because we'd put real women, real bras, real life all over our windows. Well, I found out when we got evicted, okay, that unbeknownst to me, after being told that it was handled, it wasn't handled, and we got sued big time. Wasn't until we got sued that I saw the lease, and I realized I didn't sign. Someone signed the personal guarantee for me to ensure that my home, my family would be destroyed. Okay, thank you. Some people remember. Yeah.
Now, this is forgery, okay? So you would think that if someone signed Cynthia's name to a legal document, that would be forgery. Okay. Listening to her today, my heart was breaking and my blood pressure was going up. I mean, I've known the details of stuff for quite a while, but just listening to her go through it again and explain it. Okay, I'm gonna stop babbling again.
So emails dating back to 2021 from the moment I found out that I did not sign it. Okay, and I'm going to be sharing this stuff. I'm going to be sharing it because it's really important. Okay, because I know I'm not the only one that has gone through this, and that's really sad to know that, but I know that. Okay, I never signed the lease. I told every lawyer, I have emails. Listen, anything I tell you, I can back up with receipts. Every lawyer I told I did not sign it. I should not be held. When we did the buyout, the lawyer I had, Shannon, said I was to be indemnified because I knew I didn't sign it. I was not going to be on the hold and my house at risk for something I didn't do. I wasn't even in the count. I wasn't even in the state when the thing was signed. So to make a long story short on that, I was told, no worries. Shannon said, no problem. Don't worry. I've indemnified you in the buyout. So, as long as everything's paid, no problem. Well, they have not been paid. May or June, this payment. So I've started receiving letters that they're going to sue me. Because Libby Ray, we don't own the building. It was just rent. It's a rental. It's a lease. The person that is also involved in this short-sailed it, so shouldn't have anything.
Basically, Molly sold her home, short-sailed it, so she doesn't have any assets for the landlord, the collection people to go after. So it looks like Cynthia's going to be stuck on the hook for this.
So guess who they come after? Me. We had it in our buyout to make 30 months worth of payments. That's all we had to do. That's all had to be done. $1,200 a month. Not a big deal, right? No big deal. It hasn't been done. So I've started receiving letters. And the lawyer I have now has told me that the indemnification doesn't mean anything. You're not protected. The personal guarantee's there. The only thing I can do when they put liens on my home that I'm struggling to keep, and guess what? we made it. We negotiated so that all Livy Ray had to pay was, I think max was like right at $60,000. From $250,000, which is what they're coming after us for.
So they got a negotiation from $250,000 from what they really owed to $60,000. And when I say they, I mean Livy Ray Lingerie, okay? And the payments weren't made.
Well, that $250,000, I guess in our buyout that I know now, basically, if that loan was defaulted on, which it has been for 2 months, it goes back to the original purchase price of $240,000. Yeah, $247,000. So I'm not protected, and because I'm the only one with assets and equity, I will be the one that a lien is slapped on. And I know it because they did it before to my old house, and I had to pay that. But luckily, I got reimbursed. The stress of this is unreal. My short-term memory, gone. I can't hold a thought sometimes. People say, don't let him see you. Don't let him see you be weak. I don't give a fuck. Because you know what?
And this is where my friend started to cry. And this is where I started to cry. And I started to get really angry. Because as she mentioned in her full live, which you guys are going to go check out on her page when you're done watching me, you know, Molly sued her for starting Breast Friends. Cynthia only knows bra consultations, bra designing of things. And when Cynthia tried to start her own business, and even though it said in the buyout that, you know, she was going to do consultation services, when she started her Breast Friends, Molly sued her. This was back in January 20th of 23. Okay, and I'm just going to read you guys just a little portion of the lawsuit. Okay, so it says in or around January 2006, plaintiff and defendant formed Livy Ray Lingerie LLC, the business, which is a custom fit lingerie and bra boutique serving clients around the world. In 2012, plaintiff and defendant began filming a reality series called Double Divas, which aired on the Lifetime Network and ran for 2 seasons in 2013. Double Divas chronicled plaintiff and defendant's operations of the business. After Double Divas aired, the business, as well as plaintiffs and defendants' celebrity and status, began to flourish. In 2017, plaintiff starred in another hit reality show, 90 Day Fiancé, in which defendant appeared and acted in a supporting role. Defendant, plaintiff, and defendant continued with the 90 Day Fiancé franchise and appeared in the spin-off series Pillow Talk, which further expanded plaintiffs' and defendants' celebrity and social media followings. Now, this is the part that's laughable. Beginning in 2019, defendant only made sporadic appearances at the business, largely withdrew from any involvement in the business operations, fittings, or functions. During her absences, defendant struggled to maintain her business relationships and failed to maintain her client appointments. Despite her withdrawal, Plaintiff continued to pay defendant her regular salary and benefits as a member and employee of the business while managing the business operations. Oh, Molly, you're such a peach. In or around 2022, defendant broke ground on construction of a new house and she began to gradually retreat from the business. Plaintiff and defendant's relationship began to break down even further as defendant faced financial stress from the construction of her new house. In or around 2022, defendant began to wait. In or around 2022, defendant withdrew even further from the business, leaving plaintiff to manage the day-to-day operations as well as accounting, inventory, human resources, license requirement, vendor relations, social media interactions, and additional revenue opportunities and business and or charity function. So then it goes on to say that Cynthia operated a smear campaign against Molly in the store and on social media. And as a result, Molly started receiving harassing messages on a daily basis. And let's see. Then it says, in addition, and most shockingly, defendant has started the Defendant LLC, which is in direct competition with plaintiff and the business. Defendant, through Defendant LLC, is actively soliciting the business clients as well as new clients for defendants and Defendant LLC's services. A true and correct copy of the You Can Add Me ad for Defendant and Defendants LLC services is attached to as Exhibit C. Specifically, it appears that Defendant and Defendant LLC is offering bra fittings to determine size, best style, and follow-up for a check fit for a $50 fee. So even after Molly and Cynthia departed ways, okay, Molly decided to sue Cynthia for starting Breast Friends. And, it took Cynthia a long time, to be able to get to the point where she can do it. Okay. So she had to fight her way in court, to be able to do this. So, like I said, my friend was crying on Instagram today, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Okay. So
that Alina slapped on. And I know it because they did it before to my old house, and I had to pay that. But luckily I got reimbursed. The stress of this is unreal. My short-term memory, gone. I can't hold a thought sometimes. People say, don't let them see you. Don't let them see you be weak. I don't give a fuck. Because you know what? This is healing for me. To be share the injustice that has happened to me, holding that in, is way worse. So yeah, a lot of people say, okay, why go after the lawyer? That's what I've been told by the lieutenant and sergeant down at Cobb County Police, because apparently, get this, didn't know this, but when your name is forged on a personal guarantee or any
listen to this, guys, and I can't wrap my mind around this personally.
Contract for the matter, you have 2 years to report it from the time you knew in Georgia.
Statute of limitation is 2 years for forgery. Okay. 2 years, and then it's no longer a crime.
Well, guess what? I'm outside those 2 years. Doesn't matter that it's a crime. Doesn't matter that I never put a pen on that paper. Never. Nor would I ever have done that. knowing who I was dealing with. And so I was extremely upset about that. But there was nothing I could do. I've been screwed by so many. And, you know, I think it's funny that it's been brought up, oh, you've had 3 lawyers. No, actually, I'm on my 4th lawyer. And the 4th lawyer was the only one, after I called 30 lawyers in the state of Georgia, literally from 8 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night for 2 days straight. I called every lawyer that I could to see if somebody could help. Because as soon as I fired Shannon, realizing what she did, my dad was a witness. He was there with me, everything. She brought her niece to my mediation and told me that I was over my $30,000 limit. So therefore, she was going to work on other client stuff while a mediation was going. She didn't read the buyout. She didn't look at it. Digital now, it's not paper. We'd been there for 7 hours. I wasn't even told how much it was going to cost until I got there that morning. Hell, I didn't even know where to go until the day before. But when I found out how much it was that morning, as she waltzed into the room and said, oh, by the way, it's going to be about $400 an hour, and I hope you brought money because they're going to explain today. Tore me up. Because my dad, they don't have much, had just given me $2,500 to help me. And I had to use that money to pay the mediator. And of course, Shannon took everything I had. It was the last credit cards I had, which was brought up in court because Libby Ray's name's on it. But it was mine.
Hearing my friend cry, it does nothing but get me really angry and make me want to, I don't know. I really, really want to be able to do something for her. And this is such a fucked up situation. Like personally, I can't wrap my head around the fact that after 2 years, if you find out that somebody forged your name on something, that they can't do anything about it. Like, I don't get it. So, a recurring theme of Cynthia's life is that she just wants to be left alone. She just wants to be bought out and to be left alone. And, you know, after all of the craziness, and yes, I'm going to say it, the abuse that she had to deal with at Libby Ray. I mean, this is just a small sample of what was going on back on January. Give me 1 second, guys. January 22nd of 2023. Okay, Cynthia and Olivia called the cops on each other, and it was basically over Olivia wanted to fire a employee. She was accusing her of stealing, blah blah blah. And Cynthia was like, no, you know, this is 50% my store, and no. So basically, they called the cops on each other, and as you can see here, this is, you know, the cops' summary of events. I responded to a business dispute call at Living Ray Lingerie at 11:36 hours. The call information stated that there was a dispute over an employee being fired and then rehired by a different owner. Cynthia gave an account of herself and fellow co-owner Molly Hopkins parting ways in the business and had a strained relationship from the separation. Molly had fired an employee for an allegation of stealing a product. Cynthia refuted this information and rehired Angelique as she believed that the allegations were false. Molly was not on the scene to give her account of events as she was in Florida. It was at this time Molly's daughter, Olivia Hopkins, wanted to give her account of events. Olivia called dispatch and wanted to meet with Cobb Police Department to see if anything could be done about Angelique's removal. At 12:35 hours, Olivia met with Sergeant Burrow and I in the parking lot of 440 Ernest Barrett Parkway. Olivia gave a similar account of events, and I informed Olivia that this was a civil issue between the owners and that we cannot remove Angelique from Livy Race. I further advised Olivia that she should stay away from Cynthia when she is at the store in order to keep the incident from escalating. Both Cynthia and Olivia wanted to have documentation of the incident for their records. Then this resulted the next day, Cynthia going to the police department and wanting to file a report. And she also talks about this briefly in her live today. She doesn't specifically talk about this incident, but listen to her live and you'll see what I'm talking about. On January 23rd, 2023, Cynthia Decker came into the precinct and stated she needed to file a police report. Mrs. Decker stated that she had filed a report on the previous day, which involved the same individual. Mrs. Decker stated that she needed an incident that occurred 2 years previous on the record. Mrs. Decker stated that her business partner, Molly Hopkins, is violent and struck her in the back of her head with a closed fist on June 3rd, 2020. Mrs. Decker stated that Mrs. Hopkins also kicked her in the right leg, leaving a bruise and causing her not to be able to drive for an hour. Mrs. Decker advised that she did not report the incident when it happened due to her having a business and being on television with Mrs. Hopkins. Mrs. Decker did not want anything to be done about this incident, but just wanted on record in case something else happens. Mrs. Decker mentioned getting a TPO and was given instructions on how to proceed if she decided to go that route. So, did I mention my friend Cynthia was crying on IG today, and I didn't like it, and it made me really, really sad because Cynthia's a good person and she doesn't deserve the shit that's happening and the shit that happened to her.
Problem. But forget. God, I had a pretty rough childhood. I've been on my own for a long time. My parents are amazing. My stepdad and my mother, I love them, and they've been so amazing with emotional support. But they don't have money. They don't really know anything about lawyers. None of us did. I've never been in a situation like this. And it's just sad that, you know, my first lawyer, loved him. Lou, he was amazing, until I got sued. And he fired me because he said he didn't want to go to court.
And the suit that she's talking about is that Molly versus Breast Friend suit.
Didn't want to take that on, but that he would find me someone. And of course, he found me someone out here in my hometown where everybody knows. So the particular person, that next lawyer I had, knew us and knew the family. So I was not sure about that. I didn't feel good about it. And I was stuck with the newest person to be hired and only been there a week. And at this point, I needed somebody very aggressive. And I remember him telling me after, when I was sitting in court, he said, "I'm surprised you're still getting paid." And I remember thinking, wow, what do you mean?
Exactly. What do you mean? This is half my business. I should still be getting paid.
It's my business. I'm owner. Like, this is nuts. But what you quickly find out when you go into business is that you're not protected. Okay, especially in a 50-50 partnership, because the laws are not there to protect you. And you don't realize that. And then people are like, why didn't you go to the police and tell them that your name was forged on a commercial lease that you're being held accountable for, that personal guarantee? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the same reason people that get raped don't report it right away. Maybe they're trying to cover for somebody. They're trying to help somebody. They're a nice person. They don't want to lose everything. They don't want to be not believed. They don't want to make a stink. Or maybe they just didn't have the money to hire the lawyer to help them. Which is all of the above. Okay? So in Georgia, there's a 2-year, just 2 years. After that, it's civil. It's not a crime anymore. So here I am, stuck, holding the bag. I can't afford to pay them because I would much rather give them the $30,000 so they don't come after me for $250,000, but I don't have it. I can barely buy groceries. So, wanted to sell my home, as all of y'all know. I've tried desperately to sell my home. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly's been 100% with me through all of this. He has been there when I've had some of my lowest moments. When I couldn't talk. But still not able to talk. But you know what? What do I have to lose? What do I have to lose?
And that's what I've been trying to tell you, Cynthia. What do you have to lose at this point? It is time for you to speak. And I'm so happy that you started to get your story out today on live. But I was so sad to see you sitting there crying, because I know how much pain you've been in the past 2 years. And I'm going to stop babbling now.
Lose nothing. I don't even care anymore. Take it. I'd rather you take it all than be under the stress and the pain and the betrayal and the injustice that I have been through. So I'm asking for your help. Of course, monetarily, I need it because I need to go after the bitch that got me in this situation to begin with, the lawyer that did not protect me, Shannon. I told you I wouldn't forget, and I don't. You've done it to other people, too. But I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. My family's tired. My daughter who worked with us, I mean, she's waitressing, she's going to school, but I had committed to helping her pay for her apartment, like I did my son. She's offering me money.
Listening to my friend cry is heartbreaking. It just rages me inside, because I know so many how snaky Molly could be. That's all I have to say. And, Cynthia didn't only have to deal with Molly in the store. Okay. She also had to deal with Olivia, and Olivia's not a Girl Scout, sorry to say. And she also had to deal with Matt, Olivia's boyfriend, who is definitely not a Boy Scout. Okay. So on top of all the bullshit with Molly, she had to deal with Livy and Matt. And it's not only Kelly and Cynthia that may have been collateral damage in all this. And I would just like to thank my source, anonymous source, who slipped this into my email, oh, maybe about a year ago or so. And I haven't released this because of all of Cynthia's legal problems and being sued by Molly and going to court left and right. But Cynthia going live today, I just said to myself, it's time for the fans to hear this now. Okay. I think everyone should hear what bullshit Cynthia had to deal with in the store. Okay. So this has never been heard before. Exclusively here at Kibbles and Bits. I mean, Kiki and Kibbles. I don't know. I have developed this weird twitch. I keep saying Kibbles and Bits.
Get a restraining order. I don't give a fuck. I don't want you to come here, but you're here.
Trust me, I will.
Okay, I don't care.
That's fine.
But I'm gonna say what I have to say because
You go ahead,
you are
please.
a dirty bitch for that. Go take your little Xanax so you can chill out and feel better.
Okay.
Because that's shady as fuck.
You've got the best mouth
And
in the
you've
world, don't you?
never beat on me. That would be your business.
According to your mother, it's a little bit different,
She doesn't
isn't it?
know. Antifa broke my nose. I told you that
Yeah.
story. He's never laid a hand on me. He's
Yeah.
done other stuff. He's not perfect, but he's never laid a hand on me.
No,
You
trust
get
me, I
beat.
know this stuff.
You get beat on. Okay, I'm sure.
No, I do get beat on by your mother. Yeah,
by
it's
your
been great.
boyfriends and
No,
your broke ass.
no,
You
no.
married your broke ass. That's why you're so fucking greedy because your husband's making money.
I'm just gonna be so happy to give this to the police tomorrow.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because this is harassment in a workplace in front of another employee. That is not okay. So, why don't you leave?
I'm not going to.
I'm the owner of the store, and
I'm not
my
leaving.
lawyer said that I can
I'm
let you
not
go.
leaving. Okay, well, I'm not. Now, my mom's also the owner of the store. And
I
don't
understand
have
that.
to- I don't have to go. We talked to the police too. The same
Okay.
police that came here.
But if I feel threatened, I can call them back, and you're in here attacking
I'm
me.
not touching you. I am
You are
not
in
6 feet
here
away.
verbally attacking me. So stop.
I'm 6 feet away. I just said you should be ashamed.
Stop
You were
talking
like
to
my
me.
second mother, and that's dirty as
No,
fuck.
you should be ashamed for the stuff y'all are doing.
What are
And
you
I
doing?
know.
You
You'll
just ran
see.
your mouth. That had nothing to do with anything. You just brought him into it.
Yeah, we'll see.
We will see.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be angry.
Because unfortunately, y'all don't have the evidence. I do. So it's okay. You do what you do.
You're so organized.
I'm more organized than you think. Y'all can put me down all you want because that's all you've ever done, but I really don't care anymore. Sorry.
This is a small sample of what she had to deal with.
The abuse is very normal. I'm used to it. But when you're dealing with low class people that tend to get very catty,
So what is
and
all of you attacking Matthew for no reason?
he should not be in my store and he shouldn't be in my office.
has every
He
right
does
to
no
be
he
in
doesn't.
here.
No he doesn't. He should not be in my store and he shouldn't be in my office.
has every
He
right
does
to
no
be
he
in
doesn't.
here.
No he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No.
Tell me
And
why.
because he has a track record that is a mile long. Your mother has told me she wanted him nowhere near her house. So unless that's changed, I don't feel that he should be in the store.
He wasn't
and
doing any harm
I-
to anybody.
He doesn't own this place. And
Neither
I'm
does
the
your
owner.
father, and your
And if
father
I
is
felt
here.
threatened by somebody who is in my
Sitting here?
store,
By somebody
then I
sitting
have a
here.
right to ask them to
How did
leave.
you feel threatened by him sitting here?
Because he's involved in something he shouldn't be in.
He was sitting here.
He waltzed in and
You
sat in my
involved- You
office.
involved him by personally attacking his character while sitting here.
Well,
Did you not?
I'm sorry.
Did you not?
Yeah, I sure did, because his character is quite long. I know everything,
So that
Katie.
gave you
I was your
every right to
mother's
say
best
that.
friend. I think I know some stuff.
Okay, everybody has personal power.
We know. You do. Livy does. Everybody does.
That didn't give you a right to do that to him.
It gives me every right because I don't feel comfortable with him being here knowing what I know. So I have every right
Okay.
to ask him to leave. He is not an employee of Livy Ray and he has no business being here.
Your father's not either.
My father has been and unfortunately he had to come because I don't feel safe at this place.
Okay.
And I was advised to bring somebody with me by my lawyer. So yeah.
Okay, well maybe Olivia did not feel safe because you brought back an employee that was let go who has harassed
Okay,
her
well, I was not
multiple times.
informed. I was not informed that she was
You
let
haven't been here
go.
4 months.
And because I am the other owner and there is no agreement, I have every right to be informed. So, yeah. But if y'all want to continue to harass me,
No one's harassing.
then I will be happy to call the police again and ask them to please come and stop harassing me.
Call it. We're allowed to speak to you. Yeah, you're allowed to speak to you. Just like you're allowed to roll up in here, we're allowed to speak to you. So,
I'm allowed to roll up in here because it is my company.
okay, so,
And I believe that there is fraudulent stuff going on.
Okay, so figure it out then.
Oh, I
But we're
trust
still
me,
allowed to
I
talk to you.
am.
Okay, we're still allowed to talk to you.
Not if it's considered harassment.
It's not.
Olivia, do you feel like I'm somewhat being
Olivia,
harassed
you
right
do
now?
not bother her.
In her,
She's just here
well,
to-
considering you're putting her in the middle of this,
No, I spoke to you. She's just here. She's
Yeah,
not in the middle. I didn't
but
ask
she
her
is
to
an
do it.
employee that you do not need to be discussing this with me when I'm your boss. So you need to go do something.
My boss, I'm screaming. I'm so screaming. I'm screaming.
Oh, you will be when you are out of here.
Customer,
You
you're
will
my
be.
boss.
It's gonna.
Please hold for more drama, courtesy of Olivia.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Like I said, I'm used to it. I do it all the time.
You can quit silently talking to yourself in there.
I'm actually not.
Nobody's harassing
I'm
you.
actually not talking to you. I'm actually talking and apologizing
You're saying that
to
we do
Olivia
all the time.
because of y'all's behavior, and it's very inappropriate in a workplace, and I suggest you stop.
Okay, well, what you said earlier was extremely inappropriate for the workplace. Call the cops on somebody who was just sitting there after you blatantly
No, she was yelling at me.
Matthew was saying nothing to you. He
Matthew
flipped the
has
script and
no
attacked
business once again in my store, nor did he need to be a part of that conversation and shut a door and lock himself in here with me. I'm not okay with that, knowing who he is. He has threatened my son before. He has threatened Kelly. He has sent many, many texts of threat. So no, I don't feel comfortable with him.
Okay, nobody felt comfortable with the way you approached the situation this morning.
I have been in the best mood. I've been kind. I have been happy. There's absolutely nothing I have
There was
done.
absolutely no reason for you, for when Olivia was having a conversation with you.
No, she was
You to go
yelling
and
at
throw
me.
Matthew under the bus when he said nothing to you.
What's Matthew's last name? He's done nothing. Give me his last name.
I know his last name. I don't owe anything. to
Sturdivant,
you.
right? Yeah. Well, they're going to find him. And they're going to find out all of what he does.
So
Because he has a
tried
very
to
long
sit
record.
there and blatantly stare at him and attack him when he hadn't said one word.
I didn't
to you.
attack him. I asked him why he's in my office involved in a business that doesn't involve him.
Okay,
That's what I
and
said.
Your father was not involved either.
My father was here for
Because
safety.
Angelique has threatened to fight me multiple times, and you pulled up with the whole.
Well, you've done the same.
Okay,
to
I'm not
her.
talking about that. He just came
Because
to
it
me
only
and
applies when it's somebody else, Libby.
I've tried to fight her.
You have changed many sales, including Rainey's. You have
So I
done a
tried
lot
to
of
fight
stuff.
her?
But the
Can
difference,
you
yeah,
hear?
you
I tried to
did.
fight her.
Yeah.
When?
A couple times when I was here.
When?
And y'all had to be broken
Came
up.
in and-
Yeah.
What? What? Oh
Yeah.
my God, are you on crack? Are you
No,
having
I'm being very serious. But I am ending this conversation with
Okay,
you.
So then quit
So
talking.
please,
But
leave
you're
me
not-
alone.
That's all she's saying. Matt didn't do anything to you. You
All
have
of
so
this
many
is being
skeletons in
recorded,
your-
and
I
it is
don't
going
care.
to my lawyer.
I
And
don't
it's going to
care.
be a real problem for you.
Okay, well,
Because this is
record-
not
record how you
okay
attacked
to
a random
be
bystander.
harassing the owner of the business.
Record how you attacked a random bystander.
I did.
And judged
I
him.
baby, I recorded all of it.
You are
And-
not
and
one
it's-
to judge.
and I have a
You are
witness,
not.
so-
Okay, I have
Yeah,
witnesses
well,
too.
I
You are
actually
not one to
have
judge.
the recording.
Okay.
So we'll
The
let somebody
recording
else
of you
decide.
Literally verbally attacking Matthew when he was just sitting there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I verbally attacked. It's okay.
You started judging him.
I'm not judging.
You
I'm
said,
I'm
"Didn't you go to
stating
jail for weed?
I'm
Didn't you go to jail
stating
for drugs?"
facts. Those
No,
are facts.
You were petty.
He is a
We
drug
didn't break
dealer.
up.
Your mother has
Wow,
told
do you
me
need some
that
from
you
your
and him went to
boyfriends?
Florida and did drops. I have the
Okay,
pictures
do
of
you
the
need him to
houses
sell
she
your
said
boyfriend
and
some?
sent to
Do you
me.
need him to sell your boyfriend some drugs?
I don't have a boyfriend. I'm
I'm
married.
sorry, your husband some drugs? Do you need him to come sell them? That's
Nope,
irrelevant.
we
We're
don't.
not talking about drugs or jail or anything. You brought that up out of your own ass.
Because I don't think the character of person needs to be up in my store late at night.
Okay.
And I don't think that he needs to be waltzing in here acting like he owns the place.
He didn't. He sat down.
He has,
quietly.
and I have plenty of proof.
Okay, because when I stay late, he comes and helps untie bras.
Okay, well, I don't think somebody with his reputation needs to be in this store when your mother yourself told me she doesn't want him near her home.
Well, he's living it, so.
Oh, wow. Well, that speaks volumes for your mom.
Aw.
That's going to really help my case. Great. You're just really helping me. Thanks. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
So that is the kind of crap that Cynthia had to deal with on top of dealing with Molly. And now her attorney totally screwed her with her buyout, and she needs our help, guys. If you happen to know of an attorney that could help her, she needs a malpractice attorney willing to sue another lawyer for malpractice. I mean, there's tons of malpractice attorneys out there, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to suing another lawyer, they're kind of like, I don't know about that. So if anyone out there happens to know a malpractice attorney with balls enough to sue another attorney, please send Cynthia a DM, a smoke signal, a homing pigeon. I mean, please let her know. I mean, watching her cry today, it's too hot for this. I am already irritated because of the weather, and then it just made me really, really sad because I know my friend has been going through it. She's been going through the shit, okay, for the past year and a half, almost 2 years now. She has been going through it emotionally, physically, financially, every which way you could think of. And she has been so gracious enough to show up for me week after week, do a happily ever after recap, which even got her into trouble with Angela's attorney, who happens to be Molly's attorney as well. What a coinkydink. Served her with a cease and desist for just talking about narcissism. Okay. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So, like Cynthia says, all she wants is her buyout and leave her the fuck alone. She just wants to live and do what she loves. So, guys, please, if you could think of solutions, please send her a message. Cynthia, I love you. Thank you so much, guys, for watching me, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night, everyone.